types of traffic. So back in the olden days, right, when I was younger, before the internet, you went to the skating rink, you went to the park, you know, I don't know where else, basketball gym, the mall, right? But now people on the internet conjugate in the same place, right? The same people that would want to go to the skating rink probably might go on skating rink forums. The people that love basketball, they're on ESPN, right? You get the point. Everyone's online now. Now, once you know where your potential customer conjugates, like where are your customers? Where are the people that like what you like? That's pretty straightforward. Um, Run traffic to those specific sites. So if you're have something to do with exercise, don't run advertisements on art, right? If you're in finance, don't run ads in uh, nonprofit or whatever. I mean, I probably would, because I'm trying to think. You don't run traffic where you don't need it, right? Where the opposite of where, okay, if all your potential customers are in America, but you're running all your traffic to Japan, that's not going to do you any good, right? Yeah, that's a perfect example. Run your traffic where your customers are going to be, right? If you don't know where your customers are, and that's a different topic. Now, right here we have three. Once you do that, there's three different types of traffic, right? There's not 5, 6, 7. There's just three different types of traffic, right? The traffic you control, the traffic you don't control, and the traffic you own, right? So what our plan is to make $50,000 a day, right? Now I understand that's far fetched. You're like, Eric, how are we going to make $50,000 in one day? Well, I'm going to show you the numbers. But first, where are we? Oh, going the wrong way. All right. Traffic you control. Always send this traffic to a squeeze page, to a bridge page. We've talked about this before. The SLO, self-liquidating offer. Send the traffic that you control. And what the traffic that you control is the ads, right? So when I go onto an ad network, doesn't have to be Google, doesn't have to be Facebook, it can be Pinterest, it can be whatever medium that you want to use to control your traffic, right? We got Facebook, we got Google, your advertise like email campaigns when you're buying space in other people's email with your affiliate offers or whatever. It's traffic that you control, right? That's the type of traffic that you can control. Basically, the traffic that you're paying money for is the traffic that you own. Well, not own, control. The traffic you do not control. Always send this traffic to like a blog or like an information page. Who are you? Like, what are you about? What is your world? What is the big picture, right? Not the minute, because the minute things is what you want to send the traffic that you control, because you're able to dissect, right? Remember, we're trying to figure out of what pond are we trying to throw that hook and catch them, right? So the traffic you control, you're specifying different categories. The traffic you don't control, you don't know where these people are coming from. So that's why you want a broad view. So when they come to your world, they're like, okay, we understand, we get it, right? Something big. When someone randomly searches something and your website is at the top of the list, right? Someone shares a post on social media and their followers go to your website, right? Your bigger picture thing. When a blogger writes about you or you have an interview, social media, search engines, press, you bring them to the big picture, right? Who is this big picture? Don't try to bring them to one individual page trying to get an email address. That's for traffic that you can control, right? You don't know this traffic, you don't know where it's coming from. It's almost impossible for you can't control it. I mean, when you're having an interview, yeah, you could tell people to go to a special offer, but if they don't listen to you on that special offer, but they remember your name, what are they going to do? They're going to go to their website. So take them to the largest thing, because then the reason you do that is because you have the highest potential to get people's attention with more offers. And what I mean by offers, that's not necessarily just selling things, but different content. The more content that you have to hook people, right? The more opportunity you have for them to like bring in the catch. Does that make sense? So your website needs to be grandiose. The larger it is, the better, right? Because you don't really know what people like. But then with that, you can go through your numbers and then you can be able to start controlling that traffic. Now, traffic that you own. Let's go back to this key phrase. Amateurs focus on what? Exactly. Amateurs focus on the front end. Professionals focus on what? The back end. This is the reason. Now, traffic you control. Yeah, you control it, but you're paying for it. That's why you can control it. Traffic you don't control. You're not paying for it, but you have no control over that traffic, right? You don't know when they're coming. You don't know when they're leaving. You don't know what they searched you for. You have absolutely no idea what's going on. It's just people that search you out. It's people are searching you out for their own specific reasons, right? You don't control the reason why. And that's why you don't control the traffic. Now, traffic you own is the best traffic, right? So we'll talk about this. We'll say traffic you control is basically cold, right? They don't know anything about you, but you're boom, you're sending it out there. Traffic you don't control, maybe it's a little bit warmer, but it's still pretty cold. The reason they're coming to you, they're searching you out because maybe they heard about your name somewhere else. They listened to an interview you had, so it's a little bit warmer than traffic you control, right? Now, traffic you own is the warmest, right? For the reason they have already showed interest in you. Whether it's a lot of interest or small interest, they gave you something, right? In exchange for something, or they gave it to you because they were interested in you. It all depends on what your SLO is, your self-liquidating offer is, right? So the larger the list, the better. You control where people are directed with an email you produce. Does that make sense? So with traffic you control, it's kind of the same as with traffic that you own. The only difference is traffic you control, you're paying everything for it. Traffic you own, you've already paid for them. They're yours. You own that traffic. You have their email address. So at any given time that you want to, you can push a couple buttons and send out emails, right? Now that brings us to the plan to make $50,000 a day. Now, if you understand the concept of traffic that you own, then that's the only way you're going to grasp this concept, right? If that was too advanced for you, this will not make any sense. All right, start building your email address. The goal is to get 1% to buy each time you send a broadcast. Broadcast is, for lack of time to deeply go into the difference between a Seinfeld and broadcast, is on emails. We'll say broadcast is just breaking news, right? Breaking news. You know how when you're watching TV, at the very bottom of the screen, there's this breaking news. So that's more or less like a broadcast. You send them out every now and again to get people's attention. Boom. Hello. Great offer, right? And there might be a sequence of the broadcast, but there's a lot of different tactics with the back end, but we're not going into that. This is the simplified version of how in the world could you make $50,000 a day, right? So this is what we're going to get it at. So you're selling a $5 product, right? Now you can do your own math and you can figure out for a $50 product and a $500 product. And we're using 1%, right? Now this could be a lot, this could be a little, but remember, this is traffic that you already own, right? So 1% buy rate shouldn't be the hardest thing for you to accomplish because it's traffic that people have already shown interest. Now, hopefully when you're doing this, you've already sent them a sequence of emails. You've gotten their user ability up. Their interaction rate is higher. You've done the necessary steps in order to achieve this, right? Now, don't just try to do it and be like, well, it didn't work, man. Well, yeah, it didn't work because you didn't put in the time and the energy for it. It's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight, right? So let's think extremely small. First, the list is small. You got 1,000 people. All you get is 1 or 10 people. So you make $50, right? Now, what happens when that turns to 10,000 people? 10% would be 1,000, 1% would be 100. So that same $5 product that you have, you're just reaching 10,000 people opposed to 1,000 people. Now you can make 500. Now there is absolutely no difference with your product. But now your list is 100,000 instead of 10,000. Now 1,000 people buy your same $5 product. Now how much does that make? 5,000, right? Now down the road, this might be a year, this might be 2 years, it might be 3 years. Now you've grown your list to 1 million, maybe 5 million. We're just gonna keep it at 1 million for easy numbers. Now 10,000 people purchase your product. How much money do you have? 50,000. That's the essence of scaling. Right? If you ever hear people talk about, I'm going to scale my business, I'm going to scale this and scale that, it's basically like this. You take a product that you have. It's a $5 product, $10 product, $50 product, $500 product, doesn't matter. At first, your first go around, you might only get, 10 people. Your second round, as the more people that come into your funnel, the more people that come into your world, might start off with 1,000, so you only get 10 people. Then it goes on to 100, so you might only get, or 10,000, so it might only get 100 people. Then it moves on to 100,000. Then you get 1,000 people to buy it. Then you built your list up to 1 million. Then you get 10,000 people to buy. Right? So remember, this is a consistent process. And if you want to do it consistently, do it well, you're going to have to create more products. Because if it takes you 2 years in order to build a list of 1 million, well, you need a new product, because the people that bought the product 2 years ago don't want to buy the same product, right? So you got to keep churning products, right? So if you were to just think of it like this, every round, so this is round number 1 is 1,000, round number 2 is 10,000, round number 3 is 100,000, round number 4 is 1 million, right? So if you were to have a new product at each round, right, then you're keeping it fresh, right? So every time you get to 1,000, when your first product is once you get to 1,000 people on your list. Now you build a bigger product, maybe a little bit more value, right? For the second, people won't know that it's a second product, but the first people will. So now you build your list to 10,000. So 9,000 people will be a new product. 1,000 will be an old one. Now 100,000. 90,000 people, this is a brand new product. This is brand new world to them, right? It's not for 10, but you want a new product, because those 90,000 people, if they like that product, they'll buy the other 2 as well. Now, your first 1,000, your first 10,000, if they like your first product and they like your second product, well, guess what they're probably going to do too? They're going to buy that third product. And likewise, once you get to 1 million, have another product. Now, obviously, when you get to 1 million, you're probably going to have much more products than just one. But the theory still stays the same. So if you want $50,000 a day, create $5 products and build your list to 1 million, right? Or, you can change it. It's just, those are just numbers, right? You can play with whatever numbers you want. It's just $5, and 5 and 1%. It's very easy to do, right? It's very easy math. Right? It's lazy people math. But you can change it however you want. Just change the numbers.